Are you stuck in silver, bronze, or even iron and want to obtain a higher rank?
Oh yes, Daddy!
Well, stick around because Daddy Cobra is going to tell you 20 useful Valorant tips in order to rank up and improve your skill set.
Who's your daddy?
With tip number 1, I will go over the fundamental basics of crosshair placement. Basically, you want to shoot your targets at head level instead of trying to spray them randomly as fast as possible. In this clip, I shot my opponent mid-body level, and it took more time to kill my opponent. I think the most efficient way to improve your crosshair placement is by queuing into a deathmatch or go into the range and only practice shooting head level. When it comes to Valorant competitive, there are different types of peeks you could use to dominate your opponents. A short peek is when you slowly clear an angle using your A and D key. Although, don't be like these doo-doo butter streamers.
Bruh, look at this dude.
We also have wide swinging, which should be used in 1v1 situations, especially when you know where your opponents are.
Why you bullying me?
A peek you may have heard is called the jiggle peek, which is used to bait your opponents to shoot at you so you can gather intel. A similar peek to use to gather information is called the jump peek, which is used to check if opponents are in a location with low risks of dying. A risky but detrimental peek to use is called the Ferrari peek, which can be used to catch even skilled players off guard. You should only use this peek when you know somebody is in a corner, otherwise use it sparingly. With tip number 3, we have decision making, which is essential in Valorant competitive. Everything you do in Valorant competitive requires decision making, which we will only go over a couple of scenarios. Have you ever been in a scenario like this Twitch streamer where it is a 1v4 or 1v5 and you are supposed to win the match, but ultimately lose due to poor decisions?
He's towers, he's towers.
What the fuck is towers?
He's where?
What is this comment?
Trying to walk behind it.
Last player standing.
Oh, fucking sad, dude. This guy actually lost us the game. This guy actually lost us the fucking game. It's Reyna.
Hawk out! Blinded!
Fuck, I think I lost.
Hey!
Oh.
One thing is for sure, I would have been pissed if I lost a 1v5 when the score was 11 to 12. Anyways, to name a few poor decisions that they made were that 1 or 2 more teammates could have played in the Viper ult. Some players did not have to push away from sight to get 1 kill, especially when the score was 11 to 12. And also, someone could have played A main to be safe and kill the person that was defusing. A lot of players, including myself, tend to get greedy after 1 kill and end up getting traded. Unless you're cracked like 10s, you should fall back and play with your team. Like bro, touch grass or something. Next up we have learning and utilizing agents' abilities. Don't be like this dumb streamer.
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No.
The best way to learn and utilize agents are by going into the range and using every ability of a specific agent, and you can look up Valorant pros on YouTube who dedicate lots of hours with a specific agent. Correlating to agents in Valorant, we have tip number 5, which is learning lineups if your agent is capable. Viper has lineups, Raze has lineups, Yoru has TP lineups, Sage has slow lineups, Phoenix has Molly lineups, Brimstone has lineups, Sova also has lineups, and even Killjoy has lineups. Furthermore, we have tip number 6, which is to have a good team comp. When you queue into a Valorant comp, you may have insta-lock teammates and have to choose an agent accordingly. Essentially, you always want to have a controller because you will have a hard time winning. There are too many angles, so a controller is a must. You don't want to have more than 2 duelists like these Twitch streamers here. You usually only need 1 to 2 initiators and 1 sentinel. The important factors of your team comp is that everyone should play an agent that they are good at, and at least to have 1 controller. There is an issue that contradicts a good team comp, which the next tip, learning more than 1 agent, can help with. When someone insta-locks your agent and you don't have an alternative agent to use, this can cause disagreement and toxicity, ultimately leading to lose the game. So unless you want to end up like that stream right there, go put on your big boy pants and learn another agent. Without further ado, we will go into tip number 8, which is to don't blame your teammates. I know this is an impossible task, but is essential in order to increase your win rate. There are times, trust me, I know, when your teammates make stupid mistakes. And there are times you feel like you need to release your frustrations out on your teammates.
Bro! Put trap like motherfucker! Fucking cheeky idiot, man, not radiant, bro! What the f- Bro! You guys are worst teammates! You guys are worst teammates, man! 2 traps putting A side, motherfucking champion put traps for flag, you fucking. Fuck you!
It is not worth taking anger out on your teammates because it decreases team morale and can potentially make your team throw. What you should do instead is to give your teammates advice for future reference, even though you're frustrated. If you really want to vent your frustrations to your teammates, wait till the end of the game, or I will make your grandma lose at her next bingo tournament. Okay, literally, I was just joking, kid, calm down. Anyways, let's continue with tip number 9, which is to take breaks. There are going to be days when you are on a massive L streak and just need to get off the game. When you play too much Valorant, your focus and determination percentage may decrease. Like, bro, go touch some grass and go do something productive. If you play too much competitive, you will not perform at your best, so just include some breaks. At tip number 10, we have stick with a consistent sensitivity. A handful of lower ranked players, including myself, when I first started, would keep changing my sensitivity when I performed bad. You have to remember that your opponents will shoot you from random and unexpected angles, and it doesn't always mean you have bad aim, or you need to change your sensitivity. In order to find your ideal sensitivity, go into the training shooting range. Once you shoot the practice box, you want to eliminate targets in a side-to-side motion, and check if you are undershooting or overshooting your targets. Adjust your sensitivity accordingly. Even though you have a good sensitivity, you are going to miss shots in competitive. That's why the next tip, number 11, will help because it is to warm up. Okay, this is not what I mean, okay? What I personally do is enter 2 deathmatch games before I start a competitive. You can do as many as you like, and yeah, you can also do the range. Correlating to consistency, we have tip number 12, which is to use a consistent crosshair. Okay, now don't be like Lil Timmy over here using a big ass crosshair. Essentially, you want to find a small crosshair similar to Valorant Pros with a sufficient color. The main takeaway of this tip is to not constantly change your crosshair because your eyes will have to readjust and get used to it, which also undermines consistency. Next up, we have tip number 13, which is to utilize your communication. Valorant is a team information game, so if your team doesn't have much info, it decreases chances of winning.
Sova, what the fuck?
Right here, the streamer got mad instead of giving his teammates information, which could help them win.
Fuck, I heard this. Oh, you fucking piece of shit, Viper. You have no balls, you're pussy, you have no balls, and you have no pussy as well. You have nothing. You have literally nothing.
Yeah, and right here, instead of giving his teammates information, this man got absolutely obliterated by Viper. And he gets mad and just keeps raging on and on. When you die, you don't want to frantically tell your teammates something like, he's over there, one shot. Be more clear and concise. For example, Omen is back of Jenny, hit 50. If you're too shy to give comms or don't have a mic, the least you can do is ping on the minimap where your opponents were last seen. Tip number 14 is to have a duo or trio. If you want to play competitive, having a duo or trio will increase your win rate. Intrinsically, you want to have a duo/trio around your skill level. You also want them to have good vibes so you can enjoy playing competitive with them.
But Daddy Cobra, what if I don't have friends or they are offline?
Well, I got you, little Timmy. Basically, what I suggest is going to Discover on Discord and type in Valorant. You can go to the Valorant main server or go into the Valorant looking for a group server. Who knows, maybe you can actually meet great people there. With tip number 15, we have change up your playstyle. Oftentimes, Valorant players are too predictable. They keep flanking or peeking the same exact angle as the previous round. When you keep peeking the same angle, your opponents will prepare and expect you to be there. So unless your playstyle is working every time, why not change up your angle or go to a different site? Tip number 16, get a mentor or a coach. You probably think that you have to pay for a mentor or coach, but you'd be surprised. Ask a friend who is a higher rank or has more experience to watch you play. Or you could probably ask someone on a Discord server to watch you play as well. If you have extra money, why not hire a Valorant coach on Fiverr costing around $10 to $15? Tip number 17, check your opponent's economy. You want to check your opponent's money by pressing tab at the beginning of each round.
Money, this money, that profit will make me wallet fat.
If your opponents have a lot of money, chances are they are going to buy an op. Whereas they don't have much money, you can play more aggressive with your team. You also need to check your team's economy to decide as a team whether you guys are buying or saving. At the final stretch, we have tip number 18, which is to mute toxic teammates.
Bro, uninstall. Please uninstall, you're fucking garbage.
I'm so sorry.
You could do better than that, you fucking disappointed me.
Bro, dad? I don't have a dad.
What a disappointment.
Neon, be my dad.
Nice to kill them with. It's the least we can do.
I am. Shut up, Jet.
Actual fucking disappointment.
Yeah, Jet,
Wait,
Shut the fuck up before I send you to your room, dumb bitch.
What the fuck?
I'll literally.
Yeah, basically in that game, I witnessed Jet trash talking Reyna and verbally abusing her, saying other stuff. I highly recommend that you just mute toxic teammates so you don't get heated, ultimately losing the game. It's ironic when a lot of trash talkers keep calling their teammates bad even though they do worse or not much better. But yeah, you're better off muting them so you can win the game. An important tip number 19 is to maintain confidence. Everyone, including pros, have bad games. When you are doing bad in a game, you check your kills and you're at the bottom of the leaderboard. Try your best to keep your confidence. It only takes 1 to 2 rounds to turn your performance around, and even if you don't, learn from your mistakes. With the last and final tip I have is to have a positive mindset. Oftentimes, people tend to start blaming things that are out of their control, but should put emphasis on things that they can control. For instance, 3 of my teammates die rapidly on A site and I start thinking, why did they die so fast, bruh? We're gonna lose. Instead, my mindset should be, it's unfortunate that my teammates died, but I will try to clutch this round. How can we win in 2v5? With this mindset, I can block out the thought that my teammates are the reason we are going to lose, and I might actually clutch up. If you stayed this far into this video, I just want to say I appreciate it very much. As you guys know, my channel is kinda doo-doo butter because I don't put as much effort into my other videos. This is one of the videos that I actually did some research and spent hours making because I usually don't talk. I'm about to reach 1,000 subscribers soon, so any subs are highly appreciated.
We'll be right back.